give it a few minutes see if there's anybody else that hops on. Well, it's good to see everybody's faces. I'm really glad to see you here today.
How's everyone's weekend starting out?
I went to a concert last night. Well, it wasn't a concert. It was the Dance Theater of Harlem that was here in Austin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That was good.
It was.
Very cool.
Well, it started out cold for us today, not cold for Andrew, but cold for Austin. It was around freezing this morning.
That's funny. It's all relative. My parents are currently in Houston right now because I have an aunt down there, and so they're visiting, and they went down to Galveston and all that. And my aunt was warning them. She said, "Well, in the mornings this time of year, it's really, really cool." It was like 60 degrees. So my dad was out running with a t-shirt and shorts. He's like, "This is not cold at all."
Yes.
Well, you go to Texas, get away from it.
Yes, indeed.
It's all relative. It's all relative.
I have told Andrew that with the walk being later this year, when he comes down, it's as possible it could be close to 90 as it could be, whatever, but
I'm holding you to that, actually. So just kidding.
It also could be below freezing.
well, it
Yeah.
could. Good.
You never know.
Yeah. To be fair, it almost hit 70 2 days ago up here, which was a record for us.
Whoa.
And then today it was below freezing. So yeah, I'm ready for the
You hear 70 about 2 days ago too,
yeah.
with a record too. So
Yeah. I'm used to kind of a roller coaster of temperatures.
Hi, Eloise and Janice.
Hi, am I there?
You're here.
Okay.
No,
can't
no
see you.
picture, but we can
Oh,
hear
well,
you.
I don't know why. Okay,
There you
now,
go.
There you are.
here I am.
you know,
Hello, the other Eloise.
Hello, Eloise.
Oh, my goodness, that's right. I didn't know we had this connection too, Eloise.
It's just amazing. Once
It
in a-
is. We go to plays together too.
Ah, nice.
Yes, the two Eloises. That's unusual.
Well, is everybody about ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay, I am going to share the screen. And there we go. All right. Well, welcome everybody to the team captain training for the 2023 Hybrid Austin Crop Hunger Walk. Today we're going to discuss what hybrid means, because we're doing a hybrid walk again this year. Well, last year we ended up switching to virtual, but this year we're doing a hybrid walk. We want to remind everyone, of course, you know this from hearing all the news stories about inflation and disasters in the world, that the need is greater than ever. In spite of that, in spite of having all the special circumstances we've had the last couple of years, we still want to have fun. And we have some special incentives that we're going to talk about a little bit later for those who want to participate. And we're going to have a question and answer session at the end. So if you'll put your questions in the chat or ask at the end of the presentation, we will see what we can do to answer those questions. Right now, I want to remind everyone why we walk. This video will help us see that.
When a community has been trapped in poverty for decades, a mother's child is going hungry, a family feels forgotten, what can you do? you can believe there is good in the world. We believe in a world where there is enough food that no one should go hungry, enough water that no one should thirst, enough love that all children should reach their potential. Be the good in the world. Take the steps today.
It's a great way to come together as a community to support a great cause and to help offer our neighbors and people around the world a path out of poverty and hunger.
I walk rain or shine because no child should go to bed hungry, not ever.
I know that my efforts are making a difference in the lives of many people, not only locally, but nationally and internationally.
Believe there is good in the world. Be the good.
Okay. There we go. Sorry.
When a community has been trapped in poverty,
My screen has decided to, there we go. Okay. Just a reminder, that video that we just saw is available at the resources page for the the CWS Crop Hunger Walk resources page. And if you need something to show your congregation or show to a group, a Sunday school class, there are lots of really great videos on the site. Well, we are going to do a hybrid walk this year, which means that we can either walk in person at Camp Mabry or, just a second. Oh, what do I need to do? Are you guys hearing me?
Yes.
We
Okay.
do.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to walk in person at Camp Mabry, or if you don't feel comfortable gathering at this time, you can do a virtual or satellite walk at your own time, place, and choosing. But whatever you do, don't forget to register, because especially if you're a team captain, make sure your team is registered at the Austin Crop Hunger Walk page, and the link is right there. You can also find the link to register on the austincrophungerwalk.org website. So what will the walk look like this year at Camp Mabry? We're going to get back together, yay! And we're happy that we're going to be able to do that again. It's going to be safe but fun. We're going to have plenty of parking and porta potties for those who need them. We're encouraging everyone to register online if possible, but we will have a registration tent to, if you have funds to drop off, Nancy will be happy to take those. And anybody that hasn't registered for the walk online can stop there and register. We're going to have opening events starting at 2 p.m., which include, we have DJs, we have t-shirt tosses, we have our local recipients for the walk are going to be there and setting up some activities and events. We're going to have all kinds of things. So we're going to try and make it a lot of fun this year since we're back together again. We're going to have, during the walk, we're going to have education and activity stations, including we're going to make about 100 period packs for Church World Service. We're going to have new crop t-shirts available this year. It's a new design, and unfortunately, we're only going to have adult sizes because they didn't have children's sizes, but we have some children's sizes left over from previous walks, so we'll have those available. Our results letter writing, Eloise will be there with that, and she's gonna The writing is about a response to World Tuberculosis Day on March 24th. We're going to have refreshments, and we're encouraging everyone to wear your crop t-shirts. We also have a new route this year, so we're going to have some new scenery. If you do a virtual or satellite walk, it means walking with small groups or by yourself, and make sure you socially distance. We're going to have educational activities on Facebook and at the Crop Hunger Walk page that people can do either while they're walking or prior to the walk to give it more meaning. We're also going to have kit making activities that people can participate in. So we encourage you to walk somewhere new if you want to. Decide ahead of time where you will walk and what you'll do. And we're going to encourage people to make period or hygiene packs for Church World Service. If you want to see what is needed in those kits, you can go to the Church World Service site and look at the kits link. And you can either mail them in yourselves or take them to the Little Free Food Pantry at United Christian Church at 3500 West Palmer Lane. We might also later have some other places you can take them that might be closer to you, but for right now, that's one of the options. And if you come up with any great ideas for walking virtually or in a satellite group, please post it on our Austin Crop Hunger Walk Facebook page. So if you're gonna walk with us on Walk Day, what's it gonna look like? Well, everyone is invited to view the opening events and the step off on Facebook live stream. The step off will be at 2:30, but we're gonna be live streaming prior to that, starting around maybe 2:15. Please post videos of your walk on our Austin Facebook page and wear your crop t-shirts while you're doing that. And Nancy's going to talk to it. I mean, not Nancy, I'm sorry. Kathy is going to talk.
Good work, Nancy.
Someone's going to talk to us about our new route. Kathy, could you please inform us?
Okay. Good to see everybody. And this, you may be familiar, I think everybody's walked before or been out there at least, is the track at the Camp Mabry. And the first thing everybody's concerned about is, where do I park? And the parking's the same location it was before. At the top of the page, there's an N for north, because Tom did this map and he always has to point that out to me. The P stands for the parking. It's a place you parked before. If you need handicap parking, it's down parallel to the track near the reviewing stand. When we looked at a new route, we wanted to make sure that our new route would be clear. We didn't want people wandering off and getting lost. We wanted it to be a very attractive route. Am I echoing a little bit? If everybody isn't on mute, if you could mute, because otherwise you begin to hear me twice, that's not as attractive as I'd like it to be. Anyway, so we wanted to do that, make it a beautiful walk. Last time we walked there, the Bluebonnets were just starting. And I think by March 26th, they'll be out. And so I'm hoping it'll be beautiful. And we wanted to go someplace new, make it a little bit different. So putting that in mind, after you park, we'll gather at the reviewing stand. The tent is right across from the reviewing stand where it says start on track. The local agencies, as Diane mentioned, will be there so you can find out all the good things they do and how the money we raise helps support them. 2:30 is the step off. You see along in blue, the first part of the walk, which has number ones on it, are the first half of the walk. We're just going to be walking on the track as we have done in the past. You get back to the reviewing stand, and that's about a mile right there. Wave at the porta potties, which are in the parking lot there. And then if you want to do the full walk, you keep going. Now you'll be on the road. You're going into the new territory. There are some trees back in there. They're live oaks that I think were alive in the 1800s when the Camp Mabry was founded. There's some amazing trees, and they'll be great. Keep following along, and you will find, eventually you'll find you're back at the reviewing stand. You can get a cookie and a drink to reward yourself for doing that. If you do just the track, it's a mile. If you do the full up walk, it's 2.4 miles, which is the same distance as it was in previous years. So in essence, we're going to be walking on the track, and then we're going to be walking around the track, on the road around the track. People were concerned because now we'll be on the road. So we talked to the Mabry people, and they said that there's only about 3 people that live up in that area, where the new area where we're going to be walking. And they decided that they could not tell the commander of the Camp Mabry not to go to their house just because we're walking. So we could not block off the street, but there are supposed to be only 3 people up there. Everybody else is going to be there on March the 6th, which was the first date we wanted, which is why we had to move to March 26th. We do ask as special safety to try and walk on the left side of the road. I don't think there'll be a problem. Once you've walked on the track, everybody pretty strings out and it's not crowded. The activity stations, as Diane mentioned, will be along the route. We're going to have 6 to 8. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Stations. Again, we encourage you to stop. The ACC students, which used to do it, are not doing it. The volunteers who are doing it are putting a lot of work into it, and it'd be great if you can stop and encourage them for having done that and learn more about why it is that we're walking. If you're watching virtually or satellite, we'll have, again, as Diane mentioned, parallel activities online for you to do. We want everyone to be one community, whether you're participating physically, virtually, on that day, or at that time. Diane, do you want to do questions about the route now, or do you want them to hold it?
Well, since you're leaving in a little bit, why don't you go ahead and why don't we take questions about the route? Does anyone have any questions about the route?
If you do, you have to unmute yourself. Yes, Eloise.
So I'm wondering, with the signs we put up along the route for educating people about tuberculosis, are those going to be appropriate on this area that's the second part of the walk?
Eloise, you and I can talk about that more closely later, but I think because some people will only do the track because it's a mile and not everybody can do the 2.4, that will have your signs along just the track part of the walk.
Okay.
And then, so we'll talk about where to put the table for them to do the letter writing.
Okay.
Yeah, good question.
We did that walk last time where we went across the road down, and that's not going to happen this time. But are there signs pointing to the new route from?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There'll be signs. There will be a little confusion as people come back because we were just here, but we're working on trying to figure out how to say, keep going, keep going. Maybe we'll have the refreshment people hold out the cookies and they have to follow the cookies or something like that. I don't know.
Follow the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, follow the breadcrumbs. There we go. Yes, John, that's correct. We will definitely have signs. Again, because once you're on the road, all you can do is walk on the road. You really hard to get confused. But it's amazing what people can do. So any other questions? Okay.
Okay, thank you, Kathy.
Sure.
Kathy's
I,
doing-
a quick question.
I'm sorry.
And that's okay. I just thought of it. So, but how accessible is the route in terms of, people with wheelchairs and things like that?
The walk on the track is on like almost like you'd call it asphalt. I don't know exactly the right term for it. So anyone using a wheelchair could do that. And the other part is on the road. So if you can push your wheelchair on any road in Austin, that would be just fine.
Okay.
Thanks. That's a good question.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, we'll go on. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy has spent a lot of time working on this new route, and I really appreciate all her efforts. Okay, there will be some pre-walk resources for you, your team, and your sponsors. So if you have anybody that, or if you want to share this with, groups in your church, Sunday school classes, just about anybody, we're going to post a hunger quiz on March 1st, both on our Austin Crop Hunger Walk website and our Facebook page. And we encourage you to participate in that. And there are going to be some crop t-shirts given as prizes. So that'll be fun. There are videos available from our local partners on our YouTube site. There are videos available from Church World Service on the resources page. And there are other resources at that same spot. We're going to have educational activities that everybody can participate in, and Kathy's going to be getting those to us, and we'll be posting them in all the places. Just, make this a community event. Involve your friends, neighbors. If you have someone that you think would like to sponsor you or sponsor the event, we can contact them, or you can certainly contact them. I know Kathy gets every single doctor she goes to sponsor us, and you could too. Again, watch and share videos from the Austin Crop Hunger Walk YouTube channel. Take the hunger quizzes starting the hunger quiz on March 1st, and you can convert a yard sign to a crop hunger walk sign. Some of us may have political signs left over from the last season, and you could just make your own cover for it. In fact, there's an idea, I think it's still on our website, an idea about how to make a yard sign, and just create your own ideas. There are all kinds of things. We encourage you to go to austincrophungerwalk.org because we have all kinds of resources for you. There's a link there for online registrations, links to our local agencies' web pages so you can learn more about them, links to the Church World Service resources for your walks, links to the results letter writing topic, the map of the new route, how to create your own yard sign, and links to our Facebook page and YouTube pages. So, especially check it out after March 1st, do the hunger quiz so you can win a t-shirt. Just last week, we had the team captain packet pickup. If you didn't get a packet, please contact me or Kevin, and we will be happy to get a bag to you. They have posters, bulletin materials, individual postcards, walker information, financial instructions. That's really the most important part for getting money to Nancy after the walk. And there's a lot more. You can also, we can email the forms to you, or you can find place on the resources page of Church World Service Crop Walk page. You can find resources there that you can use. One of our local recipients is Central Texas Food Bank. They're one of the largest beneficiaries besides Church World Service from the walk. And we know it's been a challenging year for them. And here's what they've been doing.
The last few years have been full of challenges for our community. But thanks to support from generous donors like you, the Central Texas Food Bank was there to lend a helping hand. In fact, we've been there for the challenging times for the last 40 years. We've learned a lot in that time, like how to adjust our operations to suit emergencies and pivot in the face of economic hardships and supply shortages. We've learned our community is full of generous people willing to step up in times of need, and how important it is for us to come together to provide nourishing food for our neighbors when they need it most.
So with the food bank, it's provided me the ability to have food and also pay for my medicine that I need. So I'm very grateful to this company, and I appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody else does.
As we look to the future, the food bank is focused on addressing the root causes of hunger and poverty with a strategic and innovative approach. While we continue to meet the need for food with our distribution services, we want to better empower our neighbors by expanding programs that will give them the tools they need to break out of the cycle of hunger and poverty. Your gift today is an investment in the health and future of our community.
We thank our partners at Central Texas Food Bank. We have a contact with them who helps us all year long named Jay Spaldich, and they really supply a lot of support for us. So what will fundraising look like this year? We're going to have Nancy Ebert, our treasurer, and Kevin Murphy from Church World Service talk to us about that. So Nancy and Kevin, take it away.
Nancy, you want to start?
Sure. The basics are basically that I'm here to help you however I can help you get funds, squared away and off to Church World Service for deposit if it's a cash or a check kind of situation. I really encourage you to use the online platform. We had great success with that last year, with the vast majority of donations coming in through that portal. So that was awesome, and obviously it's correct, and we know that it's in the bank, so that's great. Just do register online, encourage your team members to do the same, and send out emails. It's super easy. We've had one church particularly that used to have 50 checks coming my way, and I had 6 last year from that congregation. So it was a really dramatic and positive change, and they did excellent fundraising too. I mean, we had a record turnout. The grand total was what, Kevin, 83,000 something?
80.
And it was a really good year for us. So let's keep the numbers going up. And Facebook fundraisers. I personally am not a Facebook person, but I know Kevin, I think you do some of that. And the funds tie in. So he can talk more about that. And then we'll do the traditional drop off at the walk again. Since we're in person, people can still drop off cash or checks to me that way in the little envelopes, which are in the packets you'll be receiving or have received. And then I'll also do the April 2nd at Westminster in the parking lot, drive by, drop off money there if you get some afterward, or even after that time, I'm available to meet people wherever it's convenient for you.
Yeah, and I just want to echo in terms of when Nancy referred to the Facebook fundraisers, you really can dynamically add to your fundraising total by engaging in a Facebook fundraiser. And Facebook does not take any fees for doing that. So when you raise funds via Facebook, they do connect with Crop Hunger Walk and Church World Service. And, so if you've done that before, great. If you haven't, and you're on Facebook, give it a try. If you want some help with that, understanding it, feel free to contact me. And we have a couple of people who've done Facebook fundraisers so we have some folks available who can, help you out with that. Also, yeah, I wanted to just highlight in terms of really rather remarkable, we've had our last in-person walk was 2020, just before the pandemic hit. And our walk total was a little over 76,000. In the 2 years of the pandemic following, where we could not walk in person, and you'd think that we had that would be a hit on our total, we increased each year. We went from 76 to 81,000, and then last year to over 82,000, 82,400 and change. So, and we think a lot of that has to do with online fundraising and Facebook fundraising. And so, again, just wanted to emphasize that, and just say, if you need any help with any of that, don't hesitate to contact me. And if I'm unavailable to help you, we have some other folks who can help you.
Y'all have any questions about anything on the fundraising side that we might be able to help with?
Okay. And just a reminder, if you don't bring your donations to the walk or get them to Nancy ahead of time, you can drop them off Sunday, April 2nd from 2 to 3:30 p.m. at Westminster Presbyterian Church. You turn, Nancy, can you give directions, please?
Yeah, off of Exposition Boulevard, you turn onto Carlton, and the parking lot is behind church proper. You'll see there's a small loop in front of the church off Exposition, but that's not available for us to position ourselves. So the parking lot itself is off Carlton Road.
All right, thank you. If you have any questions about fundraising, please let us know. Now, Andrew Gifford, our Cultural Service Community Engagement Manager, is here with us today, and he would like to share some things.
Yeah, I have a professional headshot, but I'm glad Diane chose that one because that's definitely more appropriate and more of me and my natural environment. So I have a cat sleeping next to me and one downstairs that's crying that I'm not down there with her right now. So anyway, yeah, thanks, Diane. For those of you who have not met, most of you are familiar faces. I'm Andrew Gifford, like Diane said, the community engagement manager who works with the Austin Walk. I was on Kevin's team when he was still with CWS, so I'm glad to still be working with Kevin. So good to be with you all today. So Dan, if you want to go to the next slide, I want to introduce you to a young woman by the name of Lilia. Lilia is from the nation of Georgia, so kind of in the far Eastern Europe region. We have had a long-standing program in Eastern Europe, based out of our office in Serbia. And something about Georgia, especially the rural regions, which is most of the country, is that they just don't have much access in regards to energy and technology. And our theme for the next couple of years, and I'll go more into this later, is building global resilience and how CWS is addressing climate issues specifically, and how, some of the long-term projects that we do, as well as some of the advocacy work, and walking with people on their journey of dealing with climate change. And one of the ways that we do that, especially in Eastern Europe, because they are very energy dependent, they don't have many options. And in some cases, they live in communities that are not electrified in general. We've been able to set up solar generators. And especially during the summer months, families like Lilia's are able to save 20 to 30% on what they would have generally spent on energy costs. And because of that, and because of our work in this rural community, we're able to help them work on expanding their farms. So through chickens, as well as through raising bees. And we're also able to do things like provide them with solar fruit dryers and things like that for storing the fruit, as well as potentially building their business. So because of that savings, when my colleagues, and actually these photos were just taken within the last few months when they visited Georgia, apparently they've been able to expand their businesses, Lilia and her husband. Her husband is actually been using the honey. Obviously they eat it, but beyond that, he's been able to use it to create sort of an ointment that they sell. That's, I guess, grown very, very popular regionally, from my understanding, which is kind of cool. And so he'll go into the cities and he creates, sells the ointment to different pharmacies and whatnot throughout the region. And that's been quite a great opportunity for them, and an opportunity that wouldn't have been available without the resources they were given because of not spending it on energy costs. And Lilia has actually been able to use the dried fruit, which you'll see, that's actually what she's opening right there on the second picture on the right, is her fruit dryer. She's been able to use that dried fruit to create sort of an organic cough syrup that she's been using and trying to sell, and that's apparently been very successful for them. So it's been able to create an avenue of livelihood for them that they otherwise did not have. And so your opportunities and your ability to raise funds directly impacts our neighbors like Lilia and her family. And Diane, if you'll go to the next slide, that's probably one of my favorite pictures from that trip. It's a little guy with one of the chickens that we were able to provide for them to help them build their agricultural businesses. And that's what I always think of when I'm asking people for money, is I'm not asking them for money. I'm asking them to help me create smiles in countries all over the world. And so you can think of this little guy and the smile that you're creating with him through the funds that you raise through this year's Austin Crop Hunger Walk. So thank you so much. I also want to chime in. The QR code there will take you to Lilia's story. I'll also drop that link in the chat here. Just give me 1 second. But one other thing that I wanted to talk about, Kevin actually brought this up too, and I had some links pulled up about this in case anyone had questions, but just to let everyone know, and I did hear it on the news this morning about Turkey and Syria. CWS does not have an active presence in those two nations, but we do have ACT Alliance partners. ACT Alliance is a broader kind of umbrella organization that we had founded to kind of connect a number of NGOs together. So that way people weren't reinventing the wheels. If someone was doing something well in one country, other NGOs could support them and vice versa. So we are currently supporting our other ACT members who are responding to what's happening in Turkey and Syria. From my understanding, mostly Turkey, because Syria is still a little bit difficult in some of the regions to get to, but they are attempting to do some response there too. So if anyone would want any more info on that, I'm happy to provide that. I'll definitely drop the link to our response page in the chat. But if you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to reach out. And then one more thing, since I knew that would probably come up, hot off the presses. Like I said, our theme this year is building global resilience. We have brand new materials for everyone, and you, from my understanding, are the first walk to have access to them. So that's an exciting thing. And like I said, the program this year and for the next couple of years will be building global resilience. And so we have a wonderful suite of online resources for you to use. There's a worship resource, Minute for Missions, things like that. There's new videos that deal with the climate crisis and how we try to walk with people along the journey, whether it be to build resilience where they are to stay, as well as walking with them if they need to move because of the climate crisis, as well as resettlement here in the US. So there's some really, really wonderful resources there that I encourage you to check out. With that, are there any questions for me? There's a lot of info all at once.
Where are those resources, Andrew?
They are in the link that I just dropped into the chat. So it'd be on resources.crophungerwalk.org/building global resilience with a hyphen between each word.
So that'll be on the web page under.
That will be on the resources page. So it'd be the themed resources would be the building global resilience resources. There's a couple of new videos. There will be some new social media graphics that you can utilize too. So especially as you're promoting things, I don't think those have officially been uploaded yet, but I'm actually the one who created those. So if you want them ahead of time, I can share them with you. So feel free to email me and I'll get them to anyone who needs them. But there's lots of really, really great stuff. I know my colleagues and I have been working on these materials for the last several months, and they just got launched literally 3 days ago. So I was telling Diane and the rest of the team, I was like, I think they'll be ready by the time we have the rally, and here they are. So feel free to peruse those. There's also tons of other resources available to you too. I know Diane and Kathy both had referenced those. So feel free to just really go through those resource pages, because there's a lot of really great stuff there for you to help you as you're working through this.
And I'll plan on including some of those links and some of the messages to team captains as we move forward. So,
Great.
If you don't want to write that down, or, if you're not familiar with the chat feature and you're going, where is this stuff? You'll get some of these moving forward from me.
Cool. Good.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much, Andrew. Appreciate you being with us today.
Yeah, of course. I'm looking forward to being with you all at the walk too. I don't know if you guys caught that in the chat, but I'm looking forward to being down there with you all. So it'll be fun.
Great. Thank you. Well, we'd like to announce our local partners for this year. We're always very excited to work with these groups. 25% of the money we raise at the walk goes to our local recipients and our local partners: Central Texas Food Bank, IACT Refugee Services, the Sustainable Food Center, Manos de Cristo, Austin City Lutheran's Bread for All Food Pantry, Hope Food Pantry, and Mount Olive Food Pantry. So those are our partners this year, and we look forward to sharing everything that we raised at the walk with them. And I have a video from the Sustainable Food Center. Now, Kathy told me that this video is the volume is kind of low, so you'll either have to listen carefully or turn up your own volume on your computer. But I'm gonna play it, and it's tips for shopping at the farmer's market.
Welcome to On the Table with Sustainable Food Center. I'm Maddie, and I'll be your host for this video series. At SSC, we've learned a lot over the past 40 years about food systems. And in this series, we're sharing more with you about why we think it's so important to have a strong local food system and how you can help. Today, we're going to chat with our Farmers Market Associate, Jane, about shopping at the farmers market.
Did you know that in the United States, the average piece of produce travels 1,500 miles before reaching your plate? Next time you're at the store, check to see where the produce is grown. You might be surprised by how far some foods travel to get to you. There are many benefits to purchasing food grown closer to home, and the farmers market is a great place to stock up on a variety of local ingredients. So why should you support your local farmers market? First, because you can get fresh produce that's rich in nutrients. Produce generally has the highest amount of vitamins and minerals when it's picked at its peak. Second, shopping at the market supports the people and land in your community. Farmers markets allow farmers to sell directly to customers, eliminating the middleman, so they receive the full value for their products. Smaller scale farmers tend to be more environmentally conscious than large scale industrial farms. Your choice to shop at a farmers market can benefit the environment by supporting farmers who preserve the land and practice sustainability. If you are a SNAP or WIC recipient, you may be able to use your benefits at your local market. SFC markets are a member of the Double Up Food Bucks Network, so we not only accept SNAP and WIC, but we match your benefits dollar for dollar up to $30. We know it can be intimidating to visit a farmer's market, so here are a few tips to consider the next time you visit your farmer's market.
First, set a budget. It can be tempting to see so much fresh produce and want to try it all, but make sure you're not buying more than you can eat. By limiting what you buy, you can reduce your food waste. The more you shop at markets, the more you'll get an idea of how much you should buy to fit your eating habits. Our second tip is to bring your own bag. Most farmers may have small bags available, but you'll want to bring your own reusable bag. If walking or taking public transportation, investing in a bag or a small cart with wheels can help. Next, have an idea of what you want, but be flexible. Have a recipe that calls for butternut squash but can't find any? Try sweet potatoes or another winter squash instead. Make the most of your visit by planning for multiple meals. Look for ingredients that can be used in a few different dishes like herbs and greens. Or plan on making some roasted veggies that can be eaten throughout the week for lunch, dinner, or even breakfast. Say hello to your farmers. Unsure of how to prepare a certain vegetable? Farmers can make great suggestions and might even give you a free sample. Most farmers return to the market week after week, so introduce yourself the next time you see them. Farmers markets are not only a place to shop, but can also be a place to build community.
Thanks for watching On the Table with Sustainable Food Center. Now that you have some tips for shopping at the farmers market, we hope you check out a market near you. Have tips of your own you'd like to share? Leave a comment below. Join us next time to chat about different farming practices, the terms, and the labels that you might see on your groceries. Be sure to subscribe to our channel to follow along and get more information on how you can be part of your local food system.
Diane, you need
You're
to
muted,
unmute
Diane.
yourself. Yeah.
Sorry, just to add to that, I wanted to say that our local farmers market near our house in Cedar Park is going to start bringing back food samples. So now that COVID is kind of sort of under control, they're going to start offering some samples for those who would like to have them. So, you know, support your local farmers market. I want to thank our sponsors. Our sponsors help make it possible to send 100% of our donations that we receive at the walk to Church World Service and our local recipients. They are the ones that make possible the tent rentals, the porta potty rentals, the rental for Camp Mabry, all the things that we have to spend money on to make the walk possible. Our gold sponsor is HEB. Silver sponsor, the David and Diane Baker Donor Advice Fund. Our education sponsors are Steve Vinkrelek, who a State Farm agent, KJT 112, Friends of Faith Food Pantry, and Dr. Allen. So, you know, be sure if you shop at HEB or any of the educational sponsors, be sure and tell them that you saw their sponsorship here and let them know. And that's about all we have for today. If you have questions, again, we'll take questions now, but we want to thank everybody who attended today. And thank you very much for doing all that you do to make your teams more successul. If you need resources, we have a Facebook page, we have a YouTube channel, Church World Service Crop Walk Resources, and last but not least, you'll find everything on the Austin Crop Hunger Walk page. So please use those resources, and anything that we can on our team can do to help you be successful, just let us know. We'll be happy to talk to you at any time. So right now, are there any questions?
Yeah, I just have one for Kevin, actually. We had some walkers in the past that had their Facebook page donations made, but not through a donation site there on Facebook. Is that any different than what they were doing before, which is they were donating through Facebook straight to CSW or CWS, but I wasn't using it at the time. I was just taking donations as they came in through the church, but I'd like to start it, and I'll get with you on starting it. But
yeah, I'm not sure in terms of I guess I'd start that where what I'm talking about is that from your own Facebook page,
Okay.
you have the ability to set up a fundraiser.
Okay.
And,
so it's
and
not
then that,
necessarily things happen.
yeah, there are other Facebook fundraisers, set up a fundraiser for your walk. There are also other ways people can donate to Church World Service and other organizations through Facebook fundraisers. So I'm not sure, in terms of the folks on your team, exactly who they,
Yeah, I think they
need to know more about who they would, how they were donating and what the target was, I guess is the way I'd put it.
I'm pretty sure they followed what you're doing right now.
Okay. Well, I can walk you through that in terms of setting up a Facebook fundraiser.
That'd be great.
Great.
I do want to put a little clarifying thing in there right now about Facebook fundraisers. There was a snafu with the state of California and with like CWS and this whole, I don't know what it was exactly, but it was strange. Anyway, our Facebook fundraising ability went away for a brief period. We've been told that that's been lifted, but the problem is apparently Facebook as an organization only reviews that once a month. So it's been lifted, but when they review that this month in February, because they've not done that yet, that will be lifted for us to start our fundraisers again, which will then open up the link to the One Cause pages. So for those of you who haven't done it before, that will mean nothing to you. but for those of you who have done it, you'll know that when you go through the panel at the left as you're editing your page or doing things like that on the main website for fundraising, there will be a place where you can link the Facebook fundraiser. That's currently not there. That will be there as soon as the link gets reestablished. So just to let everyone know that if you registered right now today, you would not see the link for Facebook fundraising. It will be there for sure in the next, hopefully this next week is what I was told. Mid-February, I guess, is when they normally do it, mid-month. So yeah.
And I would encourage everyone, if you haven't registered, go ahead and register. Don't wait on that. Register and even start your fundraising, and you can always go back in and set up that Facebook fundraiser.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really easy to do once you have the page set up. You don't even have to open Facebook really. You just have to click yes when it asks you for permission to access it. So
I have one question for folks, and I put it in the comments, but in the chat, but in terms of your teams, what's your sense of what's your team going to do? We've talked about this hybrid thing. Do you think everyone on your team is going to come to Mabry and walk, or do you think you might have like a split thing where some of your team comes to Mabry, but you still have folks who go, well, that worked pretty well for me. Being kind of remote and doing it on my own or with a smaller group. Any sense of that, or even for yourself, how you're approaching this? Is it we're all going to Mabry and we're going to walk, or any of you talking in terms of, hey, if you don't want to come to Mabry, you can still participate? Any sense of that for any of you? And if not, that's fine, but it's just a question.
Well, I think in previous years, they all wanted to come to Mabry. So I think because last year was kind of an iffy idea, I had a hard time getting him to do it, walk at home. So, but some of them did. So, that's my sense from Faith anyway.
And our youth group is definitely going to be there. They're going to be volunteering, but they're also going to be walking. And I don't know about adults yet, but there could be some hybrid walking with the adults, but our youth group's definitely going to be there.
And Camilla?
Yeah, Kevin, I think we'll be at Camp Mabry, definitely. Yep.
All right, great.
Yeah, and I think Triumphant Love will be there as well, except for me, because I had vacation planned at the end of the month, not the beginning. So so I'm hybrid, but the rest of it won't be.
Okay. All right, thanks. That helps a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the impression that the church at Highland Park was going to be there. Alana's not on today, but I think that they're planning on being there because, that's really convenient for their church.
Yeah, and I had the same, I was at St. John's Methodist on Sunday, and they were the folks who talked to me and their team captains were pretty enthusiastic about, we're really excited about going back to Mabry. So, okay.
Okay, are there any other questions? Well, I want to thank you all for being with us today. We hit almost right at an hour. Good for us. And, I know everybody is probably going out right after this and chopping limbs and getting them out to the street and all the other things we're having to do to recover from the ice storm. So good luck to all of that. And, hope everybody is safe and sound and has electricity back. And anyway, we will see you March 26th at the walk. And again, we are all available to help in any way that you need. So thank you very much for coming today.
Thanks, everybody.
Good to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.